Good morning, welcome to Morning Review. This is Kim Watson speaking on Wednesday the 15th of June. So looking at the euro dollar first, and yesterday once again we sold off in this sort of yet another leg down in this current move. Question really being now is are we starting to see, we've got a double bottom coming pretty much through the Asian session here, and are we now? It's run up to the 8. Is it going to stall at this 8, or is it going to continue? Is it going to get a bit more bullish? Looking at the 60-minute perspective, from a 60-minute perspective, we've got the daily pivot still above us. There is the potential, of course, of hitting that, maybe getting a bit of a retrace. A bit of continuation from this sort of level. You can see the sort of divergence between the lows. Oh no, perhaps it's not much. Well, it's a sort of slight divergence. There was a divergence yesterday into sort of 3 o'clock low there, which came in and it chopped a long time, and it's done this double bottom here and is pushing up. Maybe we'll just get a bit of a continuation through this. Looking slightly more bullish. I've seen the order flow on the pound, which I'm going to move on to now. Just been discussing this, and this is looking pretty bullish. I've got an oversold signal that's come in on the dailies here, and well, generally when we get this, we do get a bit of a bounce. It may just be a one-day bounce, but it's certainly bouncing at this moment. There was a sort of a divergence on the RSI here, which could see us pushing up a bit further. I say a sort of because it did pull back to well, around about the actually it's just short of 50%. When the RSI comes back in between a low and comes beyond the 50%, I really just think that's gone from pillar to post. That's the move's over. But this one actually maybe just still registering as a. It got really extreme down there on the lows there at 8 o'clock. Yes, on the 13th, 2 days ago. And this time it's, well, obviously last time, yesterday, never got down quite so strongly. And it's sitting into the monthly S2 there as well. So perhaps we may see a bit more of a continuation to the upside. Yes, I don't know, there's plenty of votes to come out, yes, yet. But of course, this evening, this evening at 7 p.m, we've got the Fed's FOMC statement and press conference. So goodness knows what could happen. Maybe we'll see a bit more dovishness, and which would be good for both the euro and the pound to the upside. Maybe just wanted to do that because I'm in a sort of a long position on cable. But okay, dollar yen. So dollar yen here, slight softening this through the Asian sessioning here now. The dollar yen, it's, as I said yesterday, it's sort of reaching those sort of levels where you expect some sort of intervention or discussions of intervention. If only I could have remembered the word intervention yesterday, I'd have been fine. Anyway, so what we're seeing here in the short term is a series of high lows, high highs, pushing up. It's already above its daily pivot. S1's not far away. It could be wanting to continue pushing up towards that area, maybe softening a bit further. Again, well, unlike the other pairs, we could actually see some softening maybe in the dollar yen on bad news or US dovish results, although you would expect it to strengthen, but it may just be a bit more softening going on through there. We'll see. Looking at the Aussie dollar, taking the bigger picture first, and we've got this retracement back to its 34 moving average yesterday, 21 moving average sitting under the daily 21, sitting there. Seems to have taken a bit of a bounce off that, came back, almost retested it, pushing up, but it is looking like we've got W bottom almost here, which may suggest some continuation. So really, at the moment, a lot of these majors are looking like they're taking a bit of back, gaining back a little bit. Possibly at the moment, we should possibly be looking towards the more bullish side of these. And now, of course, we're almost into the R1 on the Aussie dollar, and it may consolidate a little bit more through the morning. But if the other pairs do make any headway, we could see a bit of continuation of that. That doesn't say we won't see any retracements in any of these, of course, but they're sort of switching more positively generally. The exception being the Canadian dollar to a degree, because we've seen the price of oil coming off. In fact, let me just switch to oil so you can see that first. Oil's been coming off down towards its monthly pivot. I should have probably just traded that yesterday when I said it would be coming down towards its monthly pivot, and just sold straight into that. It is coming down to its monthly pivot here. We could still see it coming down further at this rate, but yeah, certainly looks weakish, although it may get some support off the daily 34, 4-hourly 200 sort of area here. May see an intermediate bounce at least, but let's come back to the Canadian dollar. And it has had a decent shove up there. It's looking from the 4-hourly point of view. Some of these candles, we've seen these spinning top doji sort of candle shooting star in the current candle. It does look like it might get a bit of a reversal, but I think it's well, the oil's already started shifting, so we do sometimes see oil start moving first. So you could see a bit more sell-off coming through on the Canadian dollar. If we can break through that 34 moving average, perhaps we could be seeing a bit more of a retracement back to the 50, maybe a bit beyond. If it breaks that sort of level down to S1, it'd be a good combination down towards that area. Okay, finally then, let's just run through the news. This morning we got the jobs report coming out at 9:30. There's nothing majorly expected within that. The unemployment rate is expected to come in at 5.1. Claimant count change isn't expected to be much of any significance. There's no big expectation certainly there, and the average earnings index is expected to be dropping slightly. So that's all priced in. So if those figures are met, well, the pound shouldn't get affected too much. But that's at 9:30, and I would expect volatility around that anyway. It's a big news element. And then 1:30. CAD, we've got manufacturing sales. That does sometimes give a little bit of a blip. It's not a major in my book. And really then we're looking through to 7 p.m. UK time. We've got FOMC projections, economic projections statement, Fed funds rate, and of course the conference then at 7:30. So plenty of big news, volatility potential later. I would expect within those statements they'll blame the Brexit votes for a lot of things. If they want to be doing some, if they take a more softened route, although certainly wouldn't be expecting them to be changing anything at this point. So that's where we are. Potentially a quieter day leading into FOMC. We'll see how things roll. That's it for me. Have a great day. Bye for now.